Tom Traferatops and Friends Learn About Coding and Future-Ready Skills. Written by Anna Hanrahan. Narrated by Brad Grahowski. No! Yelled Tom Traferatops and Kate Critosaurus. They sat back and looked dismally at the pile of sticks, rocks, and grass that moments before had almost been a magnificent structure, but was now a jumbled heap. "Well," sighed Tom, "let's try again." "Again?" groaned Kate. "Aren't you ready to just give up?" "Nope," said Tom. "We just need to change a couple of things to make it work." He reached for 2 sticks to start building again. You see, Tom is a Traferatops, which is like a Triceratops, but a little bit different. One important difference is his perseverance. Tom and Kate sorted out all the materials from the jumbled heap. Kate suggested that maybe the problem with their design was that the sticks and twigs were all uneven. So they gathered new ones and broke them to be similar in length and width. Together, they carefully angled sticks and bent twigs to create a frame. They stacked rocks around the sticks for stability. If a portion of their structure seemed unsteady, they worked together to balance it out. Kate held the sticks in place while Tom secured it with rocks or mud. Tom wove long grasses through the framework to prevent it from falling apart and added leaves for touches of color. After what seemed like hours, the friends sat back and grinned at each other. Their collaboration and teamwork had paid off. "It's perfect," said Tom. In the distance, the dinosaurs heard a high, shrill whistle. Recess was over. Tom and Kate got up and scampered toward the school from their secret hiding spot. They enjoyed playing in that area because it was the furthest part of the playground, hidden behind a cluster of bushes. They liked how peaceful and secluded it was, perfect for their projects. The other kids usually stayed closer to the school and played kickball, basketball, or on the playground equipment. As Tom and Kate neared the school, the rest of the students were already lined up and ready to go back to their classroom. Tom and Kate's teacher, Miss Ankylosaurus, was waiting for the dinos as they walked up to the line. She smiled at Tom and Kate and said, "Well, there you two are. What have you been up to at recess that has you coming in after everyone else? And why are you so dirty?" Tom and Kate looked down. Sure enough, their feet and knees were muddy and grass-stained from their project. "Sorry, Miss A," said Tom. "Kate was helping me build something. We had to keep changing things to make it work better because it kept collapsing. We figured out how to make it sturdy, though." Mrs. A smiled at the dinos and said, "Well, it sounds like you two did a lot of problem-solving and iterating." Tom and Kate looked at each other, confused. "Iterating? What does that mean?" asked Kate. "Iterating is a fancy word that means doing something again and again until you get it just right," said Miss Ankylosaurus. "Tom, you and Kate learned from your mistakes and kept trying different things until you found the right solution. Iteration is a way to keep improving until you reach your goal." "Yup," nodded Tom. "We definitely iterated today." Miss Ankylosaurus laughed. "Iterate is the perfect word for us to use today, as we continue to discuss coding and testing. Making improvements is such an important part of coding. Let's get inside and get started." The class followed Miss Ankylosaurus into the classroom. Once everyone was settled in their seats, Miss Ankylosaurus thudded her tail for attention and asked the class, "Who can tell me what they know about coding?" "Oh, I can," said Brian Bambaraptor. "Coding is like giving instructions to a computer. You have to explain everything to it step by step so it can understand what to do." "Excellent, Brian," exclaimed Miss Ankylosaurus. "You're right. Coding is giving a computer step-by-step instructions for exactly what you want it to do in a special language that it understands. Coding is used as a tool to solve problems and create things." Ollie Oviraptor raised his hand. "So, since Tom and Kate created something, did they code?" he asked. "Great questions, Ollie," said Miss Ankylosaurus. "Tom and Kate used some really important components of coding, like creativity for coming up with their idea, collaboration by working together, and perseverance for sticking with their project even when they got frustrated. We call those future-ready skills. And those are all very important skills that both students and coders use often. However, since Tom and Kate didn't give a computer instructions on how to make this creation, though, it wasn't exactly coding." Miss Ankylosaurus paused and looked at the class. Then she continued, "I have an idea of how we can make this more of a coding project, though. Tom and Kate, would you be willing to make a treasure map with instructions on how we can find your project?" Tom and Kate's eyes widened. "Sure," they exclaimed together as the rest of the class rumbled with excitement. "Okay, while the rest of the class works on their steps in a process writing project, I want you and Kate to create specific instructions on how to find your project from the first step outside of the school door. You are going to pretend the rest of the class are robots or a big computer, and you'll need to make sure you're as detailed in your instructions as possible. Remember, computers can't think logically, so they will do exactly what you tell them to do." After about 20 minutes of writing out the steps to find their creation and drawing a map, Tom and Kate told Miss Ankylosaurus they were ready. Miss Ankylosaurus had the class line up at the door. "Okay, class, pretend you are mindless robots without any common sense. Remember, computers have a lot of information in them but can't think logically. You need to follow the instructions exactly how they are read to you, even if they don't make sense. Ready?" "Yes," exclaimed the other dinos. Miss Ankylosaurus asked Tom to read the first instruction. "Walk to the tree on the playground," read Tom. The class divided up and walked to the 4 separate trees on the playground. "No, no, no!" exclaimed Tom. "Some of you are at the wrong tree." "Ah, Tom," smiled Miss Ankylosaurus. "Do you see what the problem was? You didn't give them the exact instructions. Do you want to back up and change your instructions?" "Yes, everyone, reset back to the door, please," hollered Tom. The other dinos giggled and ran back to the door, while Tom and Kate rewrote their instructions. "Okay, let's try this again," said Tom. "Everyone, walk together to the pine tree straight ahead and then stop once you get to it," said Tom. The class walked together to the pine tree and stopped. "Wonderful!" exclaimed Miss Ankylosaurus. "Tom, it looks like you did some iterating. In coding, that's also called debugging. When something doesn't go the way you plan, you back up, rework it, and try again." Tom looked at Kate and said, "Okay, now it's your turn. Make sure your instructions are super specific." "I'm ready," said Kate. "Class," she yelled, "now turn right." The dinosaurs turned right, but kept spinning in circles to their right and didn't stop, No, 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 called Kate. Stop! I need to debug something. Kate looked at the line of instructions, thought for a second, erased some words, and wrote some new ones. Please, reach out from the front door, shouted Kate. She then read Tom's command that led the dinosaurs to the tree, and then said, Turn to your right one time. The class all turned one time and stopped. They were now across the playground, facing the cluster of bushes and shrubs that was shielding Tom and Kate's creation. Phew, said Tom. This is tough. Miss Ankylosaurus, can we have a minute to check our instructions before we keep going? Miss Ankylosaurus nodded, and Tom and Kate huddled over their paper, crossing out some words and writing in some new ones. After a couple of minutes, Tom and Kate said they were ready. The class was patiently waiting by the pine tree for more instructions. Okay, class, commanded Tom. Walk forward to the bushes and stop when you touch one. The class did as they were told. Whee-you! Perfect! Yelled Tom and Kate. Only one more step. Kate took a big breath and said, Class, walk through the bushes and stop when you get to the other side. The class successfully followed the instructions, and all of a sudden were standing in front of Tom and Kate's creation. Whoa! Exclaimed Josh Gixartosaurus. That is awesome! A giant structure of a dinosaur-shaped robot stood in the clearing. The sticks and grasses and mud were holding strong. The other dinosaurs all chattered excitedly, walking around to inspect the creation. Tom and Kate stood back and proudly watched. Miss Ankylosaurus thudded her heavy tail on the ground and said, Well done, Tom and Kate. Your teamwork and creativity is shining through, both in this magnificent creation and in the perseverance and collaboration it took for you both to guide us here. You should be very proud of yourselves. Tom and Kate both smiled and did feel very proud. Hey, I have an idea, shouted Josh. How about you keep coding us so we can all create robots like yours? Tom's eyes widened as he thought about all of the steps that would take. Miss Ankylosaurus answered for him and said, How about the rest of you work on your future-ready skills and work together to create your own unique structures with materials you can find? Tom and Kate sighed in relief as the rest of the class cheered and ran off to start building their own unique projects. About Tom, Trafera, and Trails. Tom the Traferatops is the official mascot of educational technology company Trafera. Trafera's goal is to help schools find the right tech for their students and teachers and help build powerful learning experiences in the classroom through technology integration. As part of their goal, Trafera built the Trails digital lesson library with the help of a handful of award-winning TED Talk-giving educators. All Trails lessons are designed to help boost tech fluency in teachers and transform the learning experience. Keep Tom's story going with digital lessons for STEM at www.trails.trafera.com and learn more about Trafera at www.trafera.com. Even more from a very special blue dinosaur. Tom and friends are growing, learning, and taking on new challenges every day. Follow all of their adventures navigating life and learning in today's classrooms, including lessons in social, emotional learning and self-worth, STEM and STEAM mentality, digital citizenship, coding, and future-ready skills.